I am a strong believer in my Chamber of Commerce. And this week, I really was hit on the head with something that really struck me a little bit. And what's going on is I began to feel like I was not really receiving the benefit of the chamber the way I had expected to, i.e., I wasn't getting a ton of people from the Tuesday morning networking group that you see me post about all the time. I wasn't getting a lot of business from the people in that group. Hey guys. That aha moment that you had prior to starting your business, whether it was an aha moment, oh my gosh, I figured it out for myself, I know what I need to do, and you proceed to do that thing, or it was an aha moment, this product is definitely what I was looking for, and I know it's gonna help me with my situation. Whatever the aha moment was for you starting the thing, it is gonna help you be much more effective in the way you engage your ideal audience. And I'm gonna share with you exactly how. Hey guys, I'm Andrea Patrick, the BU Boss, and I am helping you with real talk, real tips and techniques so that you can leverage who you are to find real success in your life, career, and or business. And today I'm sharing with you some effective ways to engage your ideal audience using things that you've already known about, but leveraging yourself using those things. And I think that's something that we don't hear a lot about. People tell you how to use certain things in your business, but they don't really show you how to infuse yourself into them so that people are attracted to it, they want to engage with it, and then they make decisions the way you want them to make them. So let's dive in. The first one is email marketing. We've not been under a rock. We know what email marketing is. And some people don't think that it's a thing. They think that it's a waste of time. I've had clients like that. It's simply not true. But if you want to engage more effectively with your ideal audience, I do believe this strategy of having an email marketing system within your business, within your career, and within your life. And I'm going to share with you the three. First of all, in your business, this is a great way to build a community. It's a great way to get questions answered, really solicit your audience for information that's going to help you continue to provide them with the content they're looking for. In your career, email is not marketing necessarily, but in creating canned emails that will help you stay more efficient in your productivity on your job. Maybe not feeling like you have to answer emails quite so much, but devising a system for that. And then in your community, in your lifestyle, really adopting an attitude of like just filtering through the noise in your email box, not being so quick to subscribe to things, being much more intentional and using your email as a tool to improve your efficiency in your own life. These are all ways that you can leverage yourself. Obviously, once you understand who yourself is, to do better, be better, and affect real success in what it is you're trying to do. But for the sake of email marketing, if you are a business and this is something that you are looking for in your business, it's just really a simple way to communicate your personal experiences with your audience. And when we talk about that aha moment, what I want you to recognize here as it relates to your email marketing is that this is an opportunity for you to break down your epiphany journey into a set of emails, a series, if you will, of emails in a campaign that really meet people where they are in their struggles, and it shows them that you relate to their problem. So having an email series that happens when someone opts in and having those automatic emails to go out is just a simple way to communicate your personal experiences with the people who opt in. It's a way to engage a community that is already there, sharing valuable information with them, helping them through some of the challenges that they might be having in real time, talking about trendy things, just really providing free value to them that they can walk away from and know that they can better do whatever it is they're trying to do. Email marketing is fabulous for that. It's also a great way to collect information. conducting polls, asking those questions. You'll be able to tell what people are interested in based on what they open, how often they click it, if they share it with other people. Having an email marketing process is a great way to be more effective in engaging with your ideal customer base. All right, the second way that I think you can be much more effective is with social media marketing. Again, this is something that you already know the answer to, and you've gotten probably a ton of information on how to perform on the various platforms, things to do, not to do, the latest trends, the latest update, the latest algorithm. I'm sure you've heard all those things, what to do, what not to do, but think about this. When you create those images and you put them out there, think about the emotions that you're trying to evoke from your audience. I often tell my customers to really think about lifestyle here. People want to know that whatever it is you have to offer is going to help them improve their lifestyle, it's going to save them some time, or it's going to pull on an emotional heartstring that makes them want to help or to participate in whatever is going on. Also, live events on your social media platforms is another way to share and affect, increase the engagement, because people are talking to you in real time. They're able to get their questions answered in real time. They're able to see what is going on and how they can relate it to whatever struggles they're having. And it's just a great way for them to get to know you and to build that relationship. Remember, I've talked about this before. First of all, you want to be recognized, right, on social media, but then you want to start to have a reputation. If you're doing lives and you're really being transparent during those lives, you're building a solid foundation. If you are then talking to people and sharing valuable information with people, getting in their inboxes, i.e. email marketing, now you're building relationships and rapport. And guess what happens after that? Referrals, people. So doing live events on your social media platforms, most of them offer it. It's a great way to build community and really start to engage a lot more with your ideal audience. Next, think about those vertical videos. A lot of platforms have them. You've got shorts, you've got reels, you've got stories. Those vertical videos are going to be very helpful in really emphasizing your story and really sharing it with them in more video form. Your email, you can share it in story form, they can read it. But your short form videos, those vertical videos are going to be very helpful in your day-to-day to tell your day-to-day behind the scenes, what's going on, what's important. It's your opinions on what's going on that particular day, showing that you are present and relevant and you are really understanding the plight of whatever is going on that particular day. So your short form vertical videos are going to be another way to use social media. If you notice, guys, I'm not telling you what platforms to use. I'm not even talking about them by name. The point here is to learn how to leverage who you are using these tools to be more effective in how you are engaging your ideal audience. For me, I do believe that it's important for you to decide on those platforms that suit your personality, but you have to understand what you need to do and be your best altogether anyway. And we talk about that all the time here on how you can be real, how you can be authentic and transparent and really show up in a way that those you really want to purchase your stuff or to be a part of your community, those real, committed, loyal followers, they're gonna come because they want what you have the way you're giving it. And so I think these tools and these ways I think that I'm sharing with you are great for I'm really showing with you how to leverage who you are using these three ideas for effective communication or effectively engaging with your audience. So let's look at, again, social media, those vertical videos, but then also social media is a great place to gather information. Think about polls. Think about asking those questions. Think about fill in the blank posts where you're engaging with people and you're gathering information. That's one way. But a long, long time ago, years and years and years ago, when Twitter first came out, I remember talking, I wasn't even doing this full time, but I remember talking to a friend of ours who has a business, and I told him he sells chemicals for beauty companies. And I was like, get on Twitter, use it for your business. And he was like, I sell chemicals. How could that possibly help me? I said, you could be a voyeur on these platforms to find out what are people saying about their beauty products. What are some of the challenges they are having with some of the products that they're using? If you have a chemical that can help with that problem, that's a way for you to then go into those beauty companies and say, hey, I noticed that this is an issue that people are having with their beauty products. We have a chemical that can solve that problem. That could potentially be a way for him to sell that product to the beauty company. See what I mean? So you can gather information just by being a voyeur, just by showing up in those groups and seeing what people are talking about, and then creating content around those challenges or solutions that you might have, and then offering it up inside the groups, or doing a live about it, or doing a post about it. So you can gather information as well via these social media platforms. Lastly, I said it kind of in this last one, but soliciting responses. That's where we have them filling in the blanks, just asking those questions on the platforms and just getting responses. You can get them to opt into your email list, for instance, by having a link to a lead magnet that you are giving valuable information away in, and having people opt into the email list to get that valuable piece of information. So that's a way to get a response from people. And it's also a way to gauge how effectively you are actually communicating with the right audience. Because if people are opting in, if people are following instructions, if people are doing the things, you know that you are engaged and you are doing something right. All right, also, I want to talk about this last thing, and I talk about this a lot in my content because I am a strong believer in my Chamber of Commerce. And this week, I really was hit on the head with something that really struck me a little bit. And what's going on is I began to feel like I was not really receiving the benefit of the chamber the way I had expected to, i.e. I wasn't getting a ton of people from the Tuesday morning networking group that you see me post about all the time. I wasn't getting a lot of business from the people in that group. I did get some referrals and I did get some business, but it started to kind of frustrate me a little bit until this week when I was speaking with someone and they said that my name was on a short list of individuals to gain a certification. I've also been told that I've had people to offer to sponsor me in our leadership program through our Chamber of Commerce. These are people with bigger businesses that, have large revenue income. And also people have come to me, people within larger companies that have larger businesses, they have come to me and asked my advice. They've asked me to speak. And so what really sort of hit me this week was I am really gaining a lot from the chamber. And I had to change my perspective. The networking that I have been doing, the consistency of me showing up, being a leader in our chamber as what we call a business success advocate, being available, being someone that they can count on, that reputation, that has followed me to the point that it's not the businesses where I'm trying to, get, a certain contract here or, a coaching thing there, but more so I'm getting bigger contract potential. And it's because those people in the larger companies are noticing what I have to offer. And it is really for those who have reached a certain point. I was bossing in the wrong stage. There you go. I was bossing in the wrong stage. And I have over this last year, latter part of last year and this year, I've really been actively working on making sure that I'm bossing in the right stage. And when I did that, I am starting to see the fruits of my labor. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So if you don't know what stage of bossing you should be in, take the quiz. I'm going to link it down in the description. It is a very simple quiz, and it really does help you identify what stage of bossing you're actually in. It goes on to provide you with a report on the type of audience you should really be talking to within that stage. And so when I really started walking into my stage of bossing and really started operating in that stage, the wheels really did start to turn. That is not even a part of what I'm gonna say here, but this third way that I think you can affect, which is an effective way to engage your ideal audience, is to do the networking, just to have a networking strategy. Again, the first step is to identify what stage of bossing you're in. And then the next step is to really know what your end game is in whatever networking you are going to be doing. I actually did an event. We have a new launch that we did this past Friday called the Boss Business Networking Brunch. And I'll leave the link for you to learn more about that as well. You can opt, if you're in the local area, these are local brunches. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and you're interested in my Boss Business Networking Brunches, I will leave the link for you to add your name to the list so you can learn all about it. Everybody on the list is who is first right of refusal to join the brunches. It is a very intimate group. We won't do any more than 30 women, and it is first come, first serve. And I'm not even going to tell you what goes on in it because it's pretty amazing. But anyway, I was speaking at that networking thing, and I was telling the ladies that the very first thing is to identify what your end game is in your networking, and then identify whether or not the group you're thinking of going to is even right for you. Is the audience, are the people that show up at that networking group, are they your ideal audience? And the way to find that out is to ask questions before you go. If you were invited to this networking group, ask the person who invited you, tell me about the crowd, tell me about the culture of the networking group, tell me what goes on, what are the norms, what happens? And then you need to start to think to yourself, is this something that is going to benefit me? And if it is, go, but have a game plan, which is the next thing that I think after you have researched the networking group, you've determined if it's something that you should attend, then I want you to create a plan of action before you go. Why are you going to this networking group? Are you going to get sales? Are you going to get people to an event you're doing? Are you going to find people that you want to join your community? Are you going because you're looking for a mentor yourself, or are you looking for someone to help you in your business? Why are you going? Identify that first. If you're looking for sales, though, I want to stop and I want to park here for a second. Just know that you're not going to get a sale that night. Do not walk into any networking group expecting to sell something that night. My suggestion is, if you do have something to sell, if you do have a piece of content that you want people to listen to, watch, or get for themselves, create a dialogue in your mind before you go that no matter what conversation you have, you can steer it towards that thing. And then if someone says that oh, wow, I've been thinking about that, or that's interesting, your response could be, oh, I have something, just, let me get your email address and I'll send it to you. I have a PDF on that very thing. Or, oh, I'm doing an event and you should come. Have that already practiced and thought out so that it flows off your tongue when the time arises for you to use it. That's what I mean by having a plan. Come up with it before you go. Know that the group that you're attending is one that is going to suit you. You vetted it, you've researched it. You have to understand what you need to do and be your best altogether anyway. And we talk about that all the time here on how you can be real, how you can be authentic and transparent. And then lastly, I would have to say, have a post-networking strategy. I would never suggest that you go in just collecting cards, guys. Those days are gone. Be intentional with your networking. It's okay to collect cards. It's okay to give cards out, but be very intentional about who you're doing that with. Because on the one hand, if you're giving it to the right person, if there's synergy there and there's a real reason for you to give the business card away, then you'll be okay if they add you to their email list, because a lot of people are doing that, even though it's not what you're supposed to do. So if you're doing that, stop. But Be intentional about whose cards you take. A lot of times, if I don't feel that there's any synergy or like this isn't like the type of client, if it's not part of the plan, I might give them my LinkedIn. Hey, let's connect on LinkedIn. Depending on who it is, I might say, hey, let's connect over on Instagram. Or I might say, join my Facebook group. If I don't really necessarily need their card, that might be something that I'll say, because you never know in networking when you're going to need that contact. And so if you have them, if you connected with them on LinkedIn, then you'll still have them, but it's not a piece of paper. It's not a card that you have to take with you everywhere you go, and you have to figure out where to put it when you get home. But have a post-networking strategy. Are you going to come home the next day and start calling people? Are you going to sit down the next day and shoot out an email, a thank you for the chat, or it was great meeting you? Are you going to send them something? Do you have a lead magnet prepared that you're going to send them a valuable piece of content to share with them, and then give them the ability to opt in for even more content? These are just ideas that you can do post networking, so that the networking has a follow through. Like there is a whole system in place for you to follow through with your networking. And it's just not you going to an event, talking to a bunch of people, passing out a bunch of business cards, receiving a bunch of business cards, and then coming home and having a shoebox full of business cards that you're never going to do anything with. So if you're going to have a networking strategy, I think that what I just laid out for you is a great one to follow. All right, guys, that does it for today. If you want to have effective ways to engage your ideal audience, I really do believe that having an email marketing system in place that really leverages who you are, your stories, your epiphany journey, sharing it in a way that they can relate to and see the value in you helping them with their problem. Also in social media, not just posting pictures, reposting pictures, or following trends or chasing algorithms, but evoking emotion, following up with great content and valuable information, using those vertical videos to really emphasize the stories that you're telling in your emails, soliciting responses, gathering information. These are ways that you can leverage who you are to get the things that you want on your social media platforms. And then lastly, again, the networking strategy. I just believe that you should have one. As a little aside, I do have a 3-2-1 pitch formula that I would like to share with you. I do have a video, my 3-2-1 pitch formula, but I've kind of tweaked it a little bit. Just so you know, I do believe like if you would share 3 things about yourself, 3 really good, attractive, engaging characteristics that you might have, 2 things that your business does well or that you want to emphasize about who you are in your business or your career, and then lastly, 1 thing that you're looking for. That's a great formula to follow when you are doing networking and you're about your business in the community and people ask you who you are. And you've got to share that 30-second pitch. I think that formula will work for you. All right, guys, I want to remind you about Your Style Story. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you can watch those videos as well. And be sure to join me back here again next week for another episode. Don't forget, Project CEO, you need to get on the wait list. We have made it more accessible this year, so be on the lookout for the launch of that. It is a great way for you to learn about all of these things inside Project CEO. I'm sharing with you how to actually develop a personal brand for yourself, how to leverage it in your life, career, and business, and be authentic and transparent, and just do it in a very organic way. We don't always know how to be authentic, and I know that authenticity is a word that is just thrown around, but I promise you, whether you are building a business, climbing the corporate ladder, or you are just trying to be a trusted, valuable member in your community, really knowing what you need to do and be your best is going to help you be successful. And again, here on this channel, I'm here to help you with real talk and share with you real tips on how to affect real success when you learn how to be authentically you in your life, career, and or business. All right, guys, get on that wait list for Project CEO, and I'll see you next week. Bye.